Doesn't it feel good to be generous? Don't forget, folks, tonight is a fundraiser for the Right to Life League, and we're counting on you to help us. Your help helps us help people in need through our various pregnancy centers and affiliates. Now, friends, presenting the Education Award, please welcome Dr. Alvita King.
Hello, everyone. I'm Evangelist Alvita King, and in a moment, I'll be announcing the winner of this year's Education Award. Before I do, I would like to invite you to please donate to Right to Life League. This annual fundraiser event continues the very important work of the Right to Life League, which has helped to bring us to this moment in our nation's history, where the right to life itself is championed by a president like never before. Your donation today supercharges our momentum on Capitol Hills, in our local pregnancy centers, and throughout the country. Please, give now by hitting the donate button on this page and help us continue the work of defending every life. The Education Award is given by the Right to Life League to honor someone who has boldly fought to educate others about the sanctity of life, either in their community, state, our nation, or the world. This year's honoree and recipient of the Education Award has spoken to millions of people about the right to life, and in particular, he has patiently explained the beauty and wonder of the life of his own amazing teenage daughter, Chloe, who has Down syndrome. He has spent 20 years as a police officer. He is no stranger to the idea of defend and protect. He has spoken out for the disabled at the United Nations on several occasions and has met with President Trump and Vice President Pence on the matter repeatedly. His work and his voice are unstoppable. And if you look up Advocate in the dictionary, you will see his picture. It is my pleasure to announce this year's winner of the Frontline Award, Kurt Kondrich.
Thank you so very much for this beautiful award. I am truly honored and humbled to be receiving the Right to Life League of Southern California Education Award. It's amazing, and just thank you so very much for presenting this to me. I want to thank the Right to Life League of Southern California, specifically Teresa and Daniel, for supporting and believing in our mission and advocacy that we do to defend and protect children with Down syndrome, like my beautiful daughter Chloe. I just want to thank you so much for having us and presenting us with this award. I want to thank my beautiful wife Margie and my awesome, amazing son Nolan, who have always supported my mission and helped keep our family focused on my daughter Chloe's abilities, not her disability. They taught Chloe to read at age 3. She's engaged in so many things that I could go on for hours just telling all the things she's done. So I just want to thank them. I want to thank all the other members of my family, my friends out there, and all the organizations, the pro-life organizations who supported this mission from the beginning, from 17 years ago, and who have helped us to spread the truth and the light about Down syndrome and what a gift it is to our society. And most of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for using me for this mission. I often think of the words that God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the call, and I'm definitely an example of that. And I've been able to show you that when you're obedient, you're available to what God calls you to do, He can use you for amazing things and to literally change the world. So I just thank the Lord for leading us on this amazing, incredible journey, and just for all the things that He has used us for. I often say He's the master craftsman and we are His instruments, and as long as we're obedient and available, He can use us for incredible things. So, a little bit about myself. In 2003, my wife Margie was pregnant with our daughter Chloe. We knew we were having a daughter. We were pressured at the time, we were both 40 at the time, to have prenatal testing because we were told we were high risk, which risk isn't really a good word, to have a child with Down syndrome. We refused the test because we're very pro-life, and Chloe was born, and shortly after her birth, we were told that she had Down syndrome. So we got a postnatal diagnosis of Down syndrome, and we were a little scared because we weren't sure exactly where this road was taking us. But Chloe was a beautiful young lady. Nolan was 4, wanted to hold his sister, and we just took her home, loved her, connected into services, and like I said, just watched her abilities blossom and watched the amazing things that she could do in her school, in her community, and with her family. So it was during that time that I learned that 90% plus of people, it's actually 100% in Iceland, who receive a prenatal diagnosis, identify, target, and terminate these children. And as a police officer who was sworn to defend and protect, I couldn't live with this. So I left my policing career of 20 years, became an advocate, and just began going to state capitol and planting seeds and taking my daughter with me and trying to change the way that people perceive people with Down syndrome. Chloe and I began advocating. We came up with this idea. It was really late at night on a legal pad of having a law in Pennsylvania, the Down Syndrome Prenatal Education Act, that would mandate that when a woman gets a prenatal diagnosis, she gets factual, supportive, uplifting information. Our governor supported it. We got some legislators behind it. And in 2014, in July, Chloe's law, the Down Syndrome Education Protection Act, was passed in Pennsylvania by a 50-0 majority in the Senate, 196-2 in the House, and Chloe actually signed on the governor's desk. And that really opened up this journey and this advocacy we're doing. Since then, Chloe and I have spoken to the United Nations, New York City, twice to global audiences and shown Chloe's abilities and the gift of Down syndrome. Chloe's picture has been on Times Square video 5 times for the National Down Syndrome Society's video showing the gift of Down syndrome. Chloe and I were in a global video of hope filmmaker made after we spoke to the United Nations. It went out across the world in several languages. Chloe's actually on the cover of a book called Brilliant Souls. There's a chapter 2 on there, and Chloe gives this book out to policymakers. She's given a copy to President Trump, Vice President Pence, people at the United Nations, and many across the world, just like I said, once again, to show the gift and the beauty of Down syndrome. We've received several national awards. Chloe actually got the Chloe Award last year from an awesome organization in New Jersey, and we've been blessed that we've been able to speak and advocate and different events, conventions, banquets, colleges, churches, all wherever God leads. We go wherever He leads us because we are obedient and available to His call, and we just keep doing what God calls us to do as we are here at this event. Chloe is the person in my life who truly inspires me. She's part of a group of people who have a silent genocide against them. If she was a turtle or an eagle, she'd be on endangered species list. And I find it amazing that we as a society will protect turtle eggs and eagle eggs. I love turtles and eagles, which are unborn turtles and eagles, but we will not protect unborn human beings who are under the attack of a genocide. So, Chloe inspires me. She's 17 years old. She's changed the world. She's changed attitudes and opinions globally. She's planted seeds that are just yielded an amazing harvest, an amazing garden. I wrote an article once that people with Down syndrome, X chromosome, that Adam and Eve had Down syndrome until the devil stole that X chromosome. Because as a police officer, I never saw a person with Down syndrome committing an act of violence or evil or malice, and I often think that's how Adam and Eve were prior to the fall, when they had their eyes opened by evil forces. And Chloe and individuals like her, I often say the devil seeks to abort them because he knows he can't corrupt them with his evil and with his things of this world. They're in the world but of the world. So she inspires me, and she's taught me more about life than anybody. And I just, I feel very blessed that God has chosen me as her father and allowed me to be the advocate that I am. One of the greatest challenges I have as an advocate is getting churches and getting people of faith, Christians, Catholics, all people of faith, involved in stopping this, I call it a silent genocide that is happening against these children and against all children. We as a nation have slaughtered 61 plus million children in our country since 1973. 1/3 of every African American child conceived since 1973 has been aborted. Over 90% of people with Down syndrome in some areas. And so, 2,500 children a day. If we lived in the 1860s and we weren't working to end slavery, then we would not be involved in that moment of history. 1940s, it was the Holocaust. That's what we've been working for. And now we are working to end the greatest cause of death in the United States of America, which is the instrument of abortion. And, my greatest frustration is the lack of engagement. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was a pastor during World War II and tried to stop the genocide, and rescue the people being led to slaughter. One of his quotes is one of my favorites. It's silence in the face of evil is evil. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. So I just challenge everybody to get engaged in this this mission to restore cultural life. My vision is that we as a country will restore a culture of life where people embrace and erase Down syndrome, where they embrace and erase all children. All children are a precious gift. I say if you looked across our country, our greatest, most priceless, precious national treasure is human life. And if we don't right that wrong and stop this mass slaughter of our most innocent, helpless children, then we as a nation will never prosper and will never, move forward. So I just ask people to come engage in this battle. Speaking of battles, we have a presidential election right around the corner, and I think the contrast could never be more clear as far as where the candidates stand in regards to the sanctity of life and funding and supporting abortion. And that's why it's imperative we all get involved. President Trump and Vice President Pence have been amazing leaders for restoring the sanctity of life, for defending and protecting our most innocent children, most innocent citizens. And I encourage all of you to get out in this election and vote, and to vote for the candidates, just nationally and statewide and locally, who support the sanctity of life and who recognize that every child is a precious gift. Every child is a precious treasure for our nation. And, I just want to, in ending, I want to thank you once again for this amazing award, the Prolife Award, Education Award from the Right to Life League of Southern California. I ask you all out there to support this organization. They've been around since the 1967 when Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. Prior to even Roe versus Wade, they knew what was coming and were defending and protecting life. So I ask you to support this amazing organization, support the work they do, make an investment in something that will yield an eternal return. And that I know that one day when we stand in front of God, we will be held accountable for what we did or didn't do during this moment of history when we as a country, we as a global culture are working to restore a culture of life. So I thank you. God bless you. And I am honored and humbled to be part of this event.